So right here is the number one thing people ask me about on this bike is this Trail Tech Voyager Pro and how I got it mounted. It's mounted on a moto-minded rally kit. It's just a 3D printed and aluminum little tower. Goes on the front of the bike, mounts the windshield. The Trail Tech is Moto Minded actually makes a bracket just for this Trail Tech, and then I have the Trail Tech in this aluminum little deal here. All in all, it's pretty useful. Like, you could the screen's easier to read than the stock one. I chose to leave the stock screen mounted just because it doesn't really weigh anything, and it's just good to have a backup there, I guess. So on the Trail Tech, you got different screens. This is the one I usually leave it on right here. But you got this one here, which is kind of nice. That one just tells you what satellites. I'm in a metal building right now, so I don't think satellites work. This is the media, which sometimes I use it, but most of the time I just let my helmet connect directly to my phone. But you can use this too. When you get it all like hooked up together for like a long trip or something, this with the Pack Talk bold, and then the stuff I got in my helmet and then my phone all work together, so I can like listen to music and talk to other riders and all that. And this also has a buddy tracker feature, which I don't really use. It just if someone else has this same unit, you guys could see where each other are on a map. And normally, if I have GPS connected, there's a map on this screen that's okay. It's pretty good. It just doesn't work inside of the metal building. And oh, there it is. So yeah, you got maps, and you can use it. I'm up in here north of Las Vegas, kind of out in the hills where all the meth labs are. I haven't really messed with it too much, but I would like it if it was more, had a few more features, like I could label points easier and stuff like that. Maybe you can, I might just not know how to do it, but it doesn't also seem to integrate with anything else. I mean, I would say the thing that I dislike the most about it is the maps. It's not even close to being on par with everything else out there as far as that goes. It's focusing. It's probably about, reminds me of the old GPSs of about 15-20 years ago. Not really what we're using today. But it's simple and easy to use for the most part. Shows you where you are. And then back here, you got just different setup features here. One of the questions a lot of people ask me is, can you put it on different bikes? You know, take it from one bike, put it on another. Well, it does have a kind of a quick connect feature if you don't use this cage I got it in, but you got to set it up for the bike, and you'd have to buy a wiring harness for each bike, and you'd have to change all the settings. Like, you could do it, doesn't really seem worth it to me. So the problems I've had with it are all related to the cradle. And you can see these little spacers I have in here. Yeah, I don't know what that means. It doesn't want to sit tight against the connectors, so constantly have to take it apart and clean them, put dielectric grease on them, which they recommend. But this bike, I use it quite a bit, and lately I've been even riding it as a commuter just because it's so fun to ride. But it loses connection, or it gets poor connection, and then all the information like the engine temperature and all that will just kind of get kind of wacky, and I trace it all down to just poor connections on the pins. So I got to clean it up real good, and then I use these spacers in here to push it tighter against the pins and then seal it up a little more. So I contacted Trail Tech about it, and they weren't very helpful, honestly. Definitely seems to be a problem that a lot of people have when they use them like I do. Not super a big deal, but just adds to the list of things you got to do for maintenance. But anyways, I probably didn't answer all the questions everybody has, but I promised I'd make this video about this, so here it is. If I missed anything, just ask me and I'll get to it on another one. But can't really see the mounting there. Sorry, my bike's all dirty again. So you can see kind of how it mounts right there. That's an aluminum bracket. It's pretty bulletproof. I'm actually really surprised how well this moto-minded tower is held up. So I've really put this thing through hell. This bike's been crashed a few times. It's broke down here. The tabs that hold these little deals on broke, but I just zip tie them. And then I've kind of switched to using zip ties for the windshield because it's just handier. There used to be little bolts in here, and I got back from a ride one day and they were gone. So probably my fault, I don't know. But these zip ties work really good and a lot easier to move. So I got to get in there every once in a while. I got kind of my messy wiring job in there, and just like every other KTM, it seems like it's always electrical when you have problems. I run these two lights right here. They're not the same light. They're both Baja designs, but one is dimmable and one is not. Otherwise, I could never ride this on the road. So I got a dimmer for it for one of the lights, and it dims it way down so I can ride on the street. But with both of these on high, it lights up the trail pretty awesome. But they don't seem to draw the power down too much. I got a pretty big lithium battery in here though, so anyways, this is about the Trail Tech, I forgot. So yeah, there's the Trail Tech. That's how it mounts. Again, I probably have one of the first ones that came out, so maybe they've fixed some issues since then. I'm not really sure. And it's definitely got a lot of miles on it and a lot of beating, and it's still working, but probably every 3 or 4 hard rides I got to take all this apart, clean it, which kind of got to do that with a lot of stuff anyway, so it just adds to the list of stuff to do. But the screen's still pretty good, and I wipe it even when it's all dirty. I'll just wipe it with a dirty glove, and it's like glass, so it's not scratched up. It's really tough. I'm really impressed with the durability of it, that I'll say. I just wish that the connection in the cradle was a little better. But if I missed anything that you have questions on, just ask and I'll address it. Thanks for watching.